Hello, this is Jamie from IToldYouIWasSick.com, and I am back with the second installment of what is going to be a 26-part video series on why autistics do the things they do. This one is called Why Autistic People Do That, which is going to be the name of the whole series, and video number 2 is Let Me Clear My Throat. Okay, so when I asked the question about a couple weeks ago, name something obvious to neurotypicals that, excuse me, right there. Name something obvious to neurotypicals that when you discovered it absolutely shocked you. Well, the first video that I did was about eyes, and I will leave a link in the description below so you can watch that if you would like to. This one is bodily functions being seen as disrespectful. Now, this one has always especially confused and irritated me. Now, I'm the kind of person, as you can tell, that has chronic sinus problems. They never go away. I have allergies year-round. I am clearing my throat, blowing my nose, hawking snot back. I know, so sexy. But it's just a fact of who I am, and I really can't control it. There's nothing I can do. And I understand that, you know, when you're in mixed company or you're eating or something like that, that it's not appropriate to be blowing your nose at the table or hawking back some phlegm or clearing your throat excessively. I get that. But I have barely any control over it. So it can be a real problem. When I was younger, it was, of course, a lot worse because I didn't realize how it looked to other people, and I did not care. I mean, I'd cough and hack and everything else, and people were like, "What is wrong with you?" And so I understand how that can be seen as disrespectful. Like I said, if you're doing it around people who are eating, I can see where that's gross. But one of my concerns is that when I was younger, it didn't matter what I was doing. I would clear my throat constantly, and it wasn't because of an anxiety thing. I think some people are under the impression that people on the autism spectrum we clear our throats a lot, and it's like a stim. Sorry. I just happen to be extra nasally today, so this is the perfect time to do this video. But whenever I would clear my throat, even if it was just, you know, I'm going about my business and I would do that, a lot of people would turn around and look at me. Now, it took me until I was probably in my late 20s to my early 30s to figure out that people cleared their throats as a way of getting each other's attention. I hate attention. I don't want unwanted attention on me. I don't like unnecessary attention on me. And I was clearing my throat all the time, and people were like looking around going, "What? What do you want?" And I'm like, I'm looking up at them. They're looking down at me. I'm looking at them like they're insane. They're looking at me like I'm an alien. It's horrible. So I didn't understand that. It took me, I don't know how I even figured it out, but somehow I did. Another thing too, and this is telling you a lot about how my body does not function properly, but I have chronic stomach problems too, which is common in autistic people. So there's a lot of farting going on, burping, stomach rumbling. And now I try to be very careful with how I expel gas around, again, mixed company, because I know it's rude. I get it. I do get it. But again, my stomach doesn't like to cooperate. So I could just, and I'm not doing it on purpose. It's not an attention getter. I'm not trying to be gross. I hate it when it happens. It's so embarrassing, but it's absolutely 100% not meant to be disrespectful to anyone. So, and I think another thing that bothers me too is that even swallowing too loudly can be seen as inappropriate. I'm always somebody who has to swallow loudly because I have a constant postnasal drip. And people notice that, and they take offense. Now, I could be just sitting there by myself doing nothing, not even interacting with people, and I will have to swallow some phlegm, and people are looking at me like, but what I don't understand is how can that be offensive if I'm not even interacting with you. I'm just sort of in my own world doing my own thing. Yawning Yawning is another one that I've never understood why it's considered impolite. That took me probably not as long to figure out about the throat clearing thing, but yawning is something I also do very often. And I'm saying all these things that I do. I am hoping and assuming that there are other autistics out there who are going, yes, yes, I do the same exact thing. This is not about me, but I, excuse me. One, I'm tired all the time. Two, yawning is just something that, from what I've read, excessive yawning is actually the attempt to achieve balance or homeostasis in your brain. So I may do it when I'm distressed or overwhelmed, but honestly, sometimes I'll get a yawning fit and I can't stop. But it doesn't mean that I'm bored. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that I'm not interested in what you're saying or that I can't wait to get away from you. It's nothing like that. And I think that just it can get excessive with bodily functions being seen as disrespectful. For example, and this is a really good one, I don't even think that this woman is autistic. There is a woman in my family who has to go to bed early every night. She just does. She goes to bed around 9, 10 maybe, and she gets up early. And when she leaves with her husband, people make fun of her. People actually make fun of her for needing to go to bed early. Now hold on a second. I got a cute little new teacup. That to me is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think anybody should be faulted for needing to sleep. I mean, that's normal. So, excuse me. I don't want this to become too long or too drawn out. My main point here in this video is that, first of all, bodily functions are normal, and whether you're neurotypical or you're autistic, nobody should fault you for having a bodily function or needing to have one, because it's normal, we all do. But in case you're wondering, your autistic child or autistic partner or family member or friend, if they're clearing their throat, yawning, burping, farting, swallowing more loudly than most, they're more than likely not doing it to try to get your attention or try to express anything to the outside world. This is a totally internal thing that's going on and just an attempt to make ourselves more comfortable. Again, I can't speak for every autistic, but I don't understand in the society why bodily functions are seen as disrespectful. And I promise you, at least from my end, I am definitely not trying to be that way. So this is the second video in the series, and this is pretty much all I have to say about the subject. And I'm trying to keep these videos to about 8 minutes, 30 seconds so they don't get too overwhelming. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do people get angry with you or upset with you because you have a bodily function? Or maybe you have a hiccup where you can't control, or you have maybe a facial tic or something, or you need to use the bathroom very often. Like, that's another thing. I have to use the bathroom often. I have to pee often. And quick story, I was working at this place one time, and I had to get up and use the bathroom so much that this woman actually listened outside the door and scared the hell out of me when I opened the door, and there she was. So bodily functions and autism, give me some feedback. I would love to know what you think, and I'm going to sign off for now, and I will see you in the next video.